Imagine stepping into a grand mansion full of promise and luxury, only to find your mind unraveling thread by thread, not because of ghosts or curses, but something far more insidious to liberate human cruelty hidden behind smiles and wealth. Tonight, we're diving into one of the most chilling chapters of 19th century American history, the Hartwell poisoning conspiracy. This isn't just a tale of madness, it's a web of deception, surveillance, and calculated destruction that claimed lives and exposed the dark underbelly of industrial America. If you think you've heard every horror story, stick around. This one will make you question every reflection you see. Hit that subscribe button now, turn on notifications, and let's uncover the truth together. By the end, you'll never look at a mirror the same way again. Welcome back to Dark Histories Unearthed, where we peel back the layers of forgotten horrors. I'm your host, Alex Thorne, and today we're exploring a story that blurs the line between psychological terror and cold-blooded crime. Set in the coal-rich hills of 19th century Pennsylvania, this tale revolves around Jeremiah Hartwell, a self-made industrialist whose empire was built on iron, ambition, and secrets that drove women to the brink of insanity. But before we jump in, let's set the stage properly. The year is 1821. America is in the throes of the Industrial Revolution. Factories are sprouting like weeds along rivers, railroads are snaking across the wilderness, and fortunes are being forged in fire and steel. In the bustling town of Millbrook, southwest of Pittsburgh, opportunity knocks for those ruthless enough to answer. Enter Jeremiah Hartwell, a 25-year-old from rural Ohio, son of a blacksmith, with eyes like steel and a mind sharper than any blade he might forge. Hartwell didn't inherit his wealth, he clawed it from the earth. By 1826, he'd founded Hartwell Iron Works, supplying rails and components for the expanding westward push. His mansion on Beacon Hill, completed in 1828, was a marvel, 3 stories of Georgian elegance, 42 rooms, marble from Italy, gardens that rivaled European estates. But it was the master bedroom suite that whispered of opulence and, as we'd learned, something far darker. Hand-painted French wallpaper, a cherrywood 4-poster bed, towering windows overlooking the valley, and mirrors, so many mirrors, strategically placed to catch every angle of light, or perhaps every secret glance. What made Hartwell stand out wasn't just his business savvy, it was his charisma. Over 6 feet tall, silver-haired by 30, with piercing blue eyes that could disarm a rival or charm a debutante, he navigated Millbrook social circles like a shark in shallow waters, making allies and crushing competitors. But beneath that veneer lay a man obsessed with control. His journals, unearthed years later, reveal a philosophy: knowledge is the true currency of power. To know a man's secrets is to own him. In 1829, Hartwell married Margaret Dunlap, 19, daughter of a local judge. Their wedding was the talk of the town. 300 guests, lavish feasts, promises of a fairy tale life. Margaret was witty, vibrant, the perfect hostess, but within months, cracks appeared. She grew distracted, whispering about the house, watching her, staring into mirrors for hours, not at the view outside, but at her own reflection, tilting her head as if listening to whispers only she could hear. By summer 1830, it escalated. At a dinner party, she argued with her image in the dining room mirror, laughing unnaturally. That night, staff found her stripping wallpaper in the master bedroom, naked, murmuring about seeing underneath. Dr. Harrison Henley diagnosed nervous exhaustion with obsessive melancholia. Mirrors became her fixation. She claimed they held other Margarets sharing house secrets. She gathered every reflective surface into the bedroom for a conference, losing touch with reality. Committed to the Pennsylvania Hospital for the Insane in October 1830, she lingered there for years, dying in 1833, her gravestone reading, "Simply beloved wife at peace." Society pitied Hartwell as a tragic widower. He retreated, studying mental afflictions obsessively, amassing books on phrenology and nervous disorders. But whispers grew. Why the mirrors? Why always the master bedroom? Hartwell remarried in 1834 to Elena Rodriguez, 22, daughter of a Spanish merchant. Intelligent, resilient, she seemed ideal. The suite was redecorated, new wallpaper, furnishings, and yes, new mirrors. Elena thrived at first, hosting events, brushing her hair before the vanity mirror with joy. But by winter 1834, echoes of Margaret emerged, staring past her reflection. claiming a mirror woman offered advice on household matters and warnings about the house's past. Her maid Maria's diary notes, she listens carefully, as if the glass speaks truths hidden from the world. Elena's conversations grew detailed, secrets of previous owners, hidden rooms, even Margaret's fate. She accused Hartwell of drugging her headache's medicine to induce madness. Dr. Henley noted parallels but hesitated. Hartwell documented her progress, almost scientifically, testing mirror responses by time of day. In April 1835, Elena rallied staff to search walls, uncovering hollow panels and narrow passages with peepholes into bedrooms. Triumphantly, she declared, "The mirror woman was right, the house hides watchers." Rumors spread. Elena's father, Don Carlos Rodriguez, arrived, demanding answers. A tense library meeting exposed more. Elena revealed impossible knowledge business deals, overheard conversations from years prior. Don Carlos pressed Dr. Henley on coincidences. To wives, same symptoms, same room. Henley admitted possible environmental factors like toxins. Guided by her mirror woman, Elena located a concealed compartment, ledgers of spy conversations, used for blackmail, letters from Dr. Heinrich Zimmermann on treatments for female hysteria, poisons like mercury, and laudanum to mimic insanity, focusing delusions on mirrors to seem like vanity gone mad. Hartwell's mansion was a spy hub, passages for eavesdropping on guests, wives as unwitting hostesses gathering intel. When Margaret discovered it, he poisoned her to discredit her. Elena nearly suffered the same. Head housekeeper Sarah Quinn confessed, "I've seen him administer the medicines, spy through walls, to women destroyed. I can't stay silent." Hartwell confessed partially to surveillance, but denied poisoning. Evidence mounted, handwriting matches, toxin analyses. Zimmerman's arrest revealing a network abusing women via medical means. Elena's recovery post-detox proved it. Her mirror woman was her subconscious fighting drugs, storing suppressed memories. Trial in 1835. Guilty of murder Margaret, attempted murder Elena, conspiracy. Hanged December 1835. Reforms followed, stricter asylum commitments, women's rights advocacy. The mansion became a boarding house, passages sealed. But was this isolated? History suggests not. Let's pause for deeper analysis. This story echoes real 19th century horrors where women were silenced through asylums and poisons. Take Elizabeth Packard, committed in 1860 by her husband for disagreeing on theology. No illness, just inconvenient opinions. She spent 3 years in Illinois State Hospital, emerging to campaign for laws protecting married women's rights, leading to reforms in 1867, or the infamous case of Madeleine Smith in 1857 Scotland, accused of poisoning her lover with arsenic though acquitted. It highlighted how poisons like laudanum were household staples, easily misused. In America, Lydia Sherman, the American Borgia, poisoned husbands and children in the 1860s-70s for insurance, showing how domestic settings had lethal intent. Closer to Hartwell's era, the 1840s poison ring in Philadelphia involved doctors supplying toxins for discreet eliminations, often targeting women in inheritance disputes. One victim, Marion Bickford, died in 1849 from arsenic administered by her cousin, dismissed initially as female hysteria. Until autopsy, these examples vivify Hartwell's tale. Women like Packard gaslight into asylums, or poison like Bickford. Their symptoms blame on delicate constitutions. Victorian medicine pathologized female autonomy hysteria diagnoses, justified lobotomies, electrotherapy, even clitoridectomies by doctors like Isaac Baker Brown. Psychologically, this is classic gaslighting, a term from the 1940s for film, but rooted in 19th century realities. Abusers manipulate perceptions, making victims doubt sanity. Hartwell's mirrors amplified this, reflections distorting reality, symbolizing self-doubt. Modern insights from psychology show hallucinogens like those used opium derivatives target serotonin receptors, inducing paranoia while preserving cognition, explaining why victims seem rational yet obsessed. This reflects patriarchal control in industrial America as women gained education, e.g. Seneca Falls 1848, men like Hartwell weaponized science. Economic booms created nouveau rich desperate to protect status, using espionage akin to Pinkerton detectives but domesticized. Imagine parallel in today's surveillance state, smart homes with hidden cams, AI tracking moods. Hartwell's passages prefigure Ring doorbells or Alexa eavesdropping. Fresh analysis, Feminist scholars like Elaine Sholter in The Female Malady argue 19th century asylums were prisons. For nonconformists, Hartwell embodies this. His compatibility assessments for wives treating marriage as mergers. The Tice sisters in 1881 New Jersey, committed by brothers for inheritance, escaped, sued, exposing asylum abuses, or an Odelia Distabar, a spiritualist fraudster in the 1880s who flipped the script by gaslighting men, but often women bore the brunt, less humanized with a fictionalized vignette based on historical composites. Picture Sarah, a maid in a similar mansion, 1832. She notices her mistress growing pale. Muttering about eyes on the walls, Sarah sneaks a taste of the tonic, visions blur. Mirrors mock. Terrified, she confides in a friend only to be labeled hysterical herself. This mirrors cases like those in The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman, 1892. Inspired by indigenous women in Pennsylvania face-worse forced into asylums during land grabs, their visions deemed insanity, or enslaved women pre-civil war, poisoned experimentally by doctors like J. Marion Sims, father of gynecology, who operated without anesthesia. Now, extending the narrative, one of Hartwell's other three wives. The original tale hints at 5, but details stop at 2. Perhaps the third, Amelia Thorne fictional extension for analysis, a banker's daughter in 1840, uncovered financial ledgers and passages, poisoned similarly, but escaped via a sympathetic doctor. Testifying anonymously. Fourth, Beatrice Langford, 1845, a widow with children. Her breakdown involved ghostly children in mirrors, actually hallucinations, masking Hartwell's child labor scandals in factories. Fifth, Clara Voss, 1850, an immigrant seamstress. Her fate intertwined with labor unrest, poisoned after overhearing union-busting plots. These additions draw from real strikes like the 1840 for Pittsburgh textile walkouts, where women organizers were institutionalized economically. Hartwell's spine parallels monopolists like Rockefeller, using Pinkertons to crush unions. Socially, it exposes Angel in the House ideal trapping women. Modern parallel, #me to revelations of powerful men silencing accusers via NDA letters or smears. As we near the end, consider the aftermath. Eleanor remarried, lived fully, a testament to resilience. Margaret's exhumation pioneered forensics, influencing later cases like Lizzie. Listen to the marginalized. Dismissed voices often hold truths in a world of deepfakes and misinformation. Question authority. Verify reflections of reality. If someone's story seems mad, probe deeper. It might unveil a conspiracy. What chills you most? Hidden passages or poisoned trust? Comment below. Share your state's dark history. Like, subscribe. For more next, the unsolved asylum hauntings of Waverly Hills. Stay curious. Stay vigilant. Good night.